Welcome to the 41st millennium. Only in death does duty end. We're talking Commissar Severina Raine, baby. What's up, you knuckleheads, ding-dongs, and silly gooses? This is Nikki G from Better Commander, and I want to talk for a moment about Commissar Severina Raine. This card has a super powerful effect, looks like a dime to boot. Let's delve into it, like the dwarves from the Lord of the Rings, but first, bat your eyelids at the like button, blow a playful kiss to the subscribe button, and pass a note of tentative interest in the comment section. Commissar Severina Raine is 1 white and a black for a legendary creature, human soldier. It's a 2/2. Has leading from the front. Whenever it attacks, each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. Also has summary execution. 2 generic mana, sacrifice another creature, you gain 2 life and draw a card. This puts me in mind of a little card from back in the day called Jezal Goldmane. 2 white for a legendary creature, cat warrior. It's a 4/4 with first strike. Has 3 white. Attacking creatures you control get +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Also has hidden flavor text on it that says, "I'm a sexy lion." Anyway, I built this back in the crazy days of 2014. It was a mono white token deck that just put as many creatures onto the field as possible. Then you swing in turn 5 with 5 to 6, 6/6 creatures with whatever sweet abilities they brought with them. Now you're over there saying to yourself, Nick, what the heck? Jezal Goldmane and Commissar Severina Raine couldn't be more different. That's where you're mistaken, my friend. Get back in your hole. They both want a critical mass of creatures. The Commissar also wants combat to happen and also wants as many small creatures as we can get our hands on. I built a $200 version of this, and I'm surprised at how tight it was, just throwing as many efficient token producers as I could find in there with some draw and ETB payoff effects. We want tokens, we want combat, we want draw. We want ETB payoffs, and we want free rent, and we want cheap food, but let's stick to the deck. Now, I didn't go full aristocrats with this deck, but those tokens are going to be 9. That's their lot in life. So let's capitalize by sticking in the cream of the crop. We got Zulaport, Rave DJ, and Wine Mom. They're cheap, effective, easy includes. We should fix them up. I mean, they can get married. I don't know if Zulaport, Rave DJ would be into that, but who knows. Now, Nadir's Nightblade is a great include and kind of a no-brainer because we have 38 token producing effects in this deck. And you have Elas Il Core looking like she just came from a Zulaport guy rave. Benefits us with life gain on the way in and drain on the way out for our tokens. Now Corpse Knight drains on the way in. That's a little better for this deck anyways. Corpse Knight is a pretty sweet card. It's a white and a black for a creature, Zombie Knight, 2/2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Agent of the Iron Throne and Bastion of Remembrance have similar effects, and that's about as deep as I went into Aristocrat Drain effects for this deck. Agent of the Iron Throne is one of my new favorites. Bastion Protector is 2 and a white for a creature, human soldier. It's a 3/3. Commander creatures you control get +2/+2 and have indestructible. It's a beautiful card. I love how the 40k art mirrors the old school art. General's Enforcer, white and a black for a creature, human soldier. It's a 2/3. Legendary humans you control have indestructible. 2 white and a black, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. You're going to try to push the Commissar off a cliff, alright? And this guy ain't having that. He's just going to stand there and silently judge you. Odric Master Tactician, 2 white for a legendary creature, human soldier. It's a 3/4 with first strike. Whenever Odric Master Tactician and at least 3 other creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how those creatures block. Odric is just Sean Connery with a glowing sword, and I've seen that guy attack and he can slap 4 or 5 people at once. Odric makes combat our playground. Great card in this deck. Alright, sorry for the bad Sean Connery impression. Alright, just one more. Let me undo that bow and get to know you, Mrs. Moneypenny. We have Selfless Spirit, 1 and a white for a creature. Spirit Cleric, it's 2/1 with flying. Sacrifice Selfless Spirit. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. I just did a short video on this. This thing's a $1.82 right now. This is incredible to me. It has flying for Pete's sake. And lastly, in our protection section, we got Grand Crescendo. This is a weird card. Let's take a minute to appreciate this art, okay? I hear people complaining that guns and power armor in 40k break the immersion, and Fortnite Secret Lair is an abomination. I don't disagree with that. But here we have just an absolutely fabulous chorus line that makes your creatures indestructible, okay? And then we got Rootborn Defenses. This is just in here for the added body. This is a great budget Teferi's protection. Alright, one more protection card, Ink Shield. This is a great card, but you have to hold up 5 mana. If you do though, you'll be in a great position. This reads, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. Alright, so what are some good payoffs for all these added bodies? Well, we got Ellen Harbreeze out here, the busybody. She can help us dig through our deck, and I love the fact that this trades with so many beefy combat monsters, and it's just kind of a homely peasant out there selling meat buns or whatever the heck she's up to. Mentor the meek. He's mentoring all the weenies since the original Innistrad in 2011. He's saying to this little guy, said, hey, you hold the sword like this, see the pointy end goes into the enemy. It's like, oh, wow, what a mentor. Rumor Gatherer. This is a really cool card when we're putting out a couple tokens a turn. You tell me what's up with the tiny elephant passing rumors. Aw man, but a chainsword is over the line, right? Welcoming Vampire. This is another decent draw engine. Most of the tokens are 1/1. Some can be made at instant speed. Idol of Oblivion. If you haven't encountered this card before, take notice. I'm putting this in a lot of decks these days. This is a great draw engine in a ton of decks. It just says tokens, treasures, birds, whatever you end up making. I also threw in a skull clamp because clamps is love, clamps is life. We're making so many tokens, let's put their skull in a clamp, right? Okay, on a token production, there are some super cheap token producers, but most of the better ones will cost you a few bucks. We have Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, 1 white for a legendary creature, Human Knight. It's a star 4 with vigilance. Adeline Resplendent Cathar's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. This is a great token producer, costs about $6. Ancient Gold Dragon, 5 white for a creature, Elder Dragon. It's a 7/10 with flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the result. Hot take on this, I like that it's a big swinging giant butt, but this is only really good if it has haste, or this is going to eat removal 100% of the time. I pulled one out of a booster, so I'd throw it in anyways. Decent card. Chittering Witch and Company Commander are cards that I'll never be sad to see. I've gone on and on about Chittering Witch, about how it's a sacrifice outlet for some sweet removal, but I also wanted to mention that this lady has some very different pictures on her dating profile. No mention of the rats either on there. It's a little bit of a catfish, but whatever. Company Commander giving Death Touch in a token deck is a lot better than it looks. If your opponent has bigger creatures and their commander is out, then you're trading for a token or both die, which is okay because we have multiple effects that benefit us when a creature dies. Defiler of Faith, 3 white for a creature, Phyrexian human. It's a 5/5 with vigilance. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost white less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only amount of white mana you pay. Whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. In a vacuum, this is a really good card. In a mono white deck, this is bonkers, but I have to see how it plays here. There's also high utility in the fact that it's a 5/5 with vigilance for 5. These are aggressively costed, but I'm not sure how good they are yet in Commander. It's a great new card out of Dominaria United. I'm willing to give it a shot. Our Commander is also a sacrifice outlet, so Elenda, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, this is a great card to consider for sure. God Eternal Oketra benefits from our 32 creature spells and is a meaty threat with double strike all on her own. Hero of Bladehold, what an awesome card. Unfortunately it's like $15 or so. 2 white for a creature, Human Knight with Battle Cry. Whenever Hero of Bladehold attacks, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Felice, Reverent Medium, 3 white and black for a legendary creature, Human Cleric. It's a 3/4. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. I like that she has an Elvira outfit and shoots ghosts out of people. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the art, but this is an interesting effect. I'm not sure how good it is, but I can see very explosive potential in this card. SRAM's expertise fits here nicely, as there are 38 or so cards that we can cast off the second effect. Lingering Souls, in my opinion, this is such a good card. You have this kind of cute ghost flying around, plus it's got flashback. This is just a great card in this deck. Spectral Procession, don't let this really weird casting cost scare you away. It's a pretty efficient token producer if you can pump 3 white mana into it. Increasing Devotion has a really expensive flashback cost, but can be a huge late game swing if the game goes that long. And lastly, Secure the Waste is an excellent, efficient token producer. If you want bodies on a scalable spell, there isn't anything more efficient than this card. So what you have at the end of all this is a deck that can put a ton of bodies on the board with a commander that can end the game really quickly. There's a meaner version with like Wound Reflection, Edict effects, but if you want to go that direction, go for it. Or you can build it as straight aristocrats as well. It's a very versatile commander. Let me know what you think. Don't keep all these feelings and emotions you have inside. Share your internal dialogue. Don't be shy. Sneaky G from Better Commander, signing off.